Hi folks, it's Ann. So today we have this TI-84 Plus calculator. I bought it on Amazon for about $44 and it is broken. Nothing, dead. I opened up the inside, brand new batteries. There was some corrosion inside, which makes me think that whoever owned it before, you can kind of see there's like a sort of, maybe not there, but a lot, sort of a whitish powder, which looked like oxidation to me from maybe some corrosion. You can kind of see there. So what I'm gonna do, I mean, I could return this to Amazon, but you know what's gonna happen? They're just gonna throw it away. So I figure, why don't we try and fix it for them? One less calculator in landfill. Looks like it takes a special kind of sort of star screw. I'll get that going and we will see. I think what happens is the contacts between this battery holder inside the calculator, between the circuit board, fail, and then it won't turn on. So I want to just take it apart, clean the contacts. If that doesn't work, we'll send it back to Amazon. So stay tuned. We'll see what we can do here. Okay, folks, I have my phone repair case here. And it looks like the bit we need for these screws, I don't know if you can see that. I can't really focus that. But it's a, looking here, it's right here, it's an H1.3. Give you kind of a close-up if I can get this in focus. So that's what it looks like. It's kind of a starish. And that will remove these style screws in the back of the TI-84. So I will do a quickie disassemble. Hi folks, Hen again. So this is now working. I just want to do a follow-up. When I got it to turn on, as you remember, but then it wouldn't get past the RAM cleared screen. And if you, I've gone ahead and cleaned these, but what I found was all of the pins had oxidation on them. So I just took my toothbrush with the rubbing alcohol and kind of brushed the pins like that with rubbing alcohol, the 70% isopropyl, and then I put it on a fan for like an hour to dry it out. And I kind of cleaned everything on this whole board with isopropyl, let it soak, and I flipped it upside down on like a fan to dry it. And now, put it back together. I'm kind of excited. You probably know what's gonna happen. Now, we will go ahead and hit the power on. And look at that, it works. 55 times 3 is 165. 165 times 4 is 660. Looks like it's working, folks. Anyway, what's left is just to put the backup battery back in. That's a super easy, it's just an LR44. And that just pops in here. Just kind of wedge it in, you know. And then that pops in like that. So I believe what happens to these folks is it's just oxidation. Again, this wasn't my calculator, it was broken. This was actually an Amazon warehouse deal that I got for like 44 bucks. And I could have returned it to Amazon, but you know, I think sometimes if I know how to fix something and it's less headache and it saves something from landfill, yeah, let's do it. You know, why not? So I'm happy to have done this for us, and I guess it helped Amazon too. Talk to y'all later. Take care. Because they didn't care for it, I've also got this wire brush, by the way, folks. That's a good one. Dollar stores also sell these. Just use them gently, because they are a little more abrasive, but you can see kind of here, I want to get that corrosion off. One concern is if it's sunk into the gold or the padding, the adhesion of the gold to the board, which can create, you know, you've got to be kind of careful how far you go with this, right? My dentist, see, I'm already taking off some of the coating on the board, which I really don't want to do. Just very gently here. We're going to get this area. You can kind of This is about as far, and I'll zoom you out. This is probably as far as I want to go, folks, with the calculator. 20/20 hindsight, I think I would have just used a toothbrush on this. I wouldn't have used metal. I don't like that I damaged these capacitors here, but so be it. Okay, now this is one you can be a little more aggressive with because this is literally, excuse me, just a battery holder, and the rubbing alcohol should take that off nicely. So we'll just do the same thing. And you see all that corrosion just sitting there, and that's gonna be your problem, folks. Change your batteries. If you think you're not going to use this calculator, you're done with it for the summertime and school's over, just take the batteries out. You can leave the memory back at one end. I mean, maybe there's stuff, but if you can remove at least the AA's or the AAA's, whatever's on this thing, you're going to save yourself a $50 to $100 calculator, which is a lot for a calculator, you know? I mean, and they're pretty, again, pride of ownership, right? Take care of them. They'll take care of you, and you don't have to throw away and buy again. I can't even imagine, you know, you think of the schools that use all these, and if you're a teacher and educator, thank you, first and foremost. But also, you know, if you're going through these, I can imagine the anguish for you wanting to get your kiddos calculators for the new school year, and you can't because they're damaged. I am going to use a metal brush on these. These are the contacts of the battery holder. You want to make sure those are clean because that's what makes contact with the circuit board, and if those are oxidized, you're not going to get any power to the circuit board. So now let's just bend that back up. Okay, yeah, they're actually pretty shiny, so I think the battery effect, because it is essentially a battery effect, I'm going to bend these up just slightly, just to give us a little more of a chance of making contact. The battery effect is going to occur here. So you see this pad was oxidizing. You notice these contacts were not, so the battery effect was right here. What I mean by battery effect, dissimilar metals can be a battery. Especially when you have a battery inside, and as it's oxidizing here, it will begin to corrode the metal, which is what you're seeing here. So we're just trying to clean this, and what I want to do, you see that contact? I want to make sure there's a good contact there. Okay, so that's it. I mean, that's really at most the best I can do here for this guy. There's not much else we can do. If it's a deeper problem with the calculator, it's going to be a deeper problem. So at this point, you can kind of see where these contacts come together. If you can see that, the contacts of the battery holder, the back of the calculator case to the circuit board. That's critical. So if we just kind of gently snap this back together. You don't need to put the screws in yet, and I would recommend you don't, because you might want to test it some more while you have it all apart. This case comes off quite easily once you've got the screws removed. So we're going to put the batteries in. I'm not putting in the battery backup yet. I don't think it's necessary. And I have one more battery. Fell on the floor. Are you ready, folks? First time. Look at that. We have a working calculator. RAM cleared. Press alpha F14 to locate shortcut menu. Okay, so I don't really know. For you master F1, F4. Oh, maybe you hold that down. F1, F2, F3, F4. What if I just hit on? There we go. Okay, what about 1? Okay, I don't know what it's doing, folks. So, the good is we now have a working calculator. And that's the goal of this video. I don't really know how these work, but what I can tell you is at least I have a cursor on the screen. I don't really know what else we can do, but it lights up. So that's a lot better than the way I was. At this point, I'll play with it a little more later. But, okay, folks, so I don't know if you can see that. It's working now. So it seems to me if you have this problem, I would highly recommend you take this apart and clean the contacts of the battery compartment. But yeah, I really wish you well and good luck with getting yours to work. Save a calculator.